Guys,
we're back.
We're back. Post nuptials.
Carrie's a married man.
I am.
Hands off, gentlemen.
Hands off, boys. It was a great weekend. Best weekend of my life.
It was gorgeous. The wedding was heartfelt, intimate, aesthetically pleasing.
Yes.
Emotional.
It was.
I felt the love.
It was soaked in moonlight and just Laurel Canyon vibes.
Yeah.
It
was Ladies of the Canyon.
There was a bird bath full of cigs. It was everything I wanted.
Plenty of cigs, plenty of macarons, and delicious cake.
Yeah.
That cake changed me.
Bottega Louis.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
What's it called?
It's like a pistachio princess cake.
I've never seen a cake like that. That's almost like a kind of like a gelatin.
Isn't it? It's like a wet custard.
It's almost a wet, shiny cake that at first I was like, And then as soon as I got the description of what was inside, I was like, I'm on board.
Wasn't it delicious?
It's delicious.
It's addicting. And that pistachio, I like the mix of like kind of savory with it.
There was a small
almond. Fire.
Oh yeah, there was a little bit of drama. The house almost burned down.
One of Simon's childhood friends from Texas came over with just a Topo Chico and dumped it on because no one knew what to do. We were all just staring.
Someone was blowing the fire into the living room, like being like, and I didn't want to get near the fire, so I was like, "Don't blow, don't do that, don't blow that direction." But they weren't listening, and then I was like, "Not my house, not my problem."
It was just like. But everything went well. My family was good. My sister was here. There was a bridge over a pool. It was just perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling good. I'm having a bit of calm down. Feels like I'm like coming off a drug a little.
The highs were high, and now you're having like the post ecstasy.
Yeah, and just like kind of Christmas Day at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
You know, I was feeling that a little on Saturday at the beach when we had like our beach party for it. Like I was feeling when like the sun was getting low and like my family was leaving, and I was just kind of like, wow, it goes really fast, you know?
Do you feel like you soaked it in during, like you were present and soaking it in while it was happening?
Yeah. I think Friday, it was good that Simon and I went to the courthouse alone because it felt like I like driving back from it was I think it was like the happiest I've ever felt. Like driving back from
the
Beverly
courthouse.
Hills. It was just like, it was just like this wild like surge of like, we were in this like little like plasma together, and it was just real. And like we had the top down, and we were wearing cowboy outfits, and like I could have, even if the whole thing had just been that, I would have been like,
you're addicted to getting married now.
I am.
You guys need to start getting married every weekend.
Get married every
You get married
weekend.
in every state.
We do.
Soon you start getting married in every country.
We'll do a tour of Eastern Europe, Western Europe, Turkey.
You should go to Turkey and get married.
We should. No, but I think the beach day was a little more because there were more people. I felt like I had to talk to everyone, and that was a little like, whoa. Like my voice was hoarse at the end of the night. But Friday was like, it felt...
Yeah, Friday was perfect.
Moving at the best pace.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more trad than we were kind of trying to avoid any trappings of like conventional wedding.
I mean, the wedding by nature is a conventional thing.
And I think by trying to not make it conventional, it's almost like that is try hard. You know what I mean? So I think that we just leaned into it. I think it ended up being like, oh, I get it. We still kept it like loose. So it wasn't like...
No, it felt really casual, but elevated and elegant.
Yeah.
And
I will say my vows were good.
Romantic. Both of your vows were amazing. The speeches were amazing.
Lara was about to do a speech, but it just felt...
I didn't know if...
I wanted you and Ryan to do one, but I felt like...
If you had said like, you're doing a speech, make a speech, I would have definitely done one. And then when it was happening, I was like, I wonder if he wants me to. And then I finally did. Like the whole time people were doing speeches, I like outlined one in my head and I knew what I was going to say. Yeah. But then it was kind of like they were toning down. But if you had called on me and ushered me up, I would have gladly done
I wanted everyone to like get food. So I felt like the speeches, like, I just didn't want the energy to like be like staying there for any longer than people wanted to. So I was like, but I wanted you to do one and Ryan, but it was great.
But then we did ours to you just one-on-one afterwards.
I demanded to hear them. I said,
and they were good speeches.
They were great. Yours made me tear up. Ryan's made me tear up. Everyone, it was just like, it was so good. And now
you're married.
Now I'm married. And it feels the same and also different.
Hard to like go through a wedding weekend and then have the come down without like the honeymoon after, because I feel like that's part of like, okay, now we're done with this part and now we just get to like keep the celebration going and get to relax.
Move them along so they can stay on that high.
Yeah, but you guys will have your honeymoon moment, and when you do, it will be glorious.
Yeah, I'm not worried. And like, we have the whole summer now, and you know, we'll find time at some point. I think that's like more the norm now, is everyone, at least people I know, like take a beat.
Well, who the fuck can afford to put on a wedding and then go on a fucking vacation afterwards?
Some people still do.
Yeah, but
not I.
Not me.
Yeah, what the fuck? We're going on
I
tour.
would be like, the wedding can be on like Zoom.
I'm going to Boston. I can't wait to be, we're leaving tomorrow for Cambridge.
I'm really excited. I kind of decided to ball on a hotel in Cambridge. And
I did not. I think we're like
Carrie's
20 minutes away.
Yeah, you're like by the high. You were like, it's really close. It's just a 10-minute drive. And I looked and I was like, ooh, but I said, you just have to come to my hotel. Because I'm walking distance to the venue.
I'm staying at it'll be fine.
It'll be great.
But I'm excited to be in Boston when it's not fucking 20 degrees and windy.
Yeah, I'm excited to be near Harvard. We're getting Harvard merch. No, I've never been to Harvard.
Just Boston in the summer, I mean.
I think I've been in the summer before, but it was so long ago, like maybe middle school or something.
It's really beautiful in the summer.
Yeah.
So it's a good place.
I love the East Coast in the summer.
I know. New York will be great. We're about to sell out our New York show.
New York is going to be fantastic.
I'm ready.
We picked our episodes that we're recapping.
We've already done the work.
I know. It's like great that
we got ahead of it.
Feeling really prepared.
Because Chicago, that was a tough. I mean, it was great. I wouldn't take back a minute. Maybe I would take back
a day. I would take back a day. And
I wanted to take back the night.
I would wedge one day in between the LA shows and the Chicago shows because I did not get my bearings. And then I realized I'm just like so deeply affected by any sort of lack of sleep or anything. Like, wreaks havoc on me, and I still feel like a little bit like I haven't found my equilibrium from that weekend of travel.
You know what? I wonder if it's because I was so for years I was like not sleeping, and I think maybe my body's still like can handle it,
can get back into that zone,
and like I can still function and be like a ham without having slept. I mean, you were a ham too.
Yeah, it's just like I just notice internally, and I think actually like scientifically women are way more affected by lack of sleep than men. Like I was reading something recently that was saying like,
well, let me go. Mango.
He's fine. He's just licking himself
out.
He's a dog. Like I read something that was like men, if they have babies in like a cis het relationship or whatever, they should be the ones to like deal with nighttime feedings, because women are just like, it really fucks up like your hormonal like balances and stuff to run on very little sleep. Like women are much more affected by it than men are.
I mean, I feel like men should do that because the women are the ones who have to like,
they have to like take their tit out and shove it in a baby's mouth.
Well, also they're like torn asunder. Like they literally they push a being out of them.
But like I don't know what the labor split is, but
what?
I don't, between like if a baby's crying, like someone has to go get the baby and then like either bring it back into the bed or like go tend to it.
And she has to go.
So like if the man, if you're listening,
step up.
Just like get out of bed, go get the baby, put it on your wife's boob, and then when she's done, pick up the baby and take it back.
Normalize cis male night nurses. What if that was a whole wave of them?
Well, I was watching something else recently that was like, you know, because straight men are very like disillusioned right now. Many of them are kind of like flopping at life or just
really?
like
You think?
not having, like they don't have.
Yeah, they're taking submarines to.
But they don't have like life skills. Like men are living with their parents longer than women are. Men
Really?
are like not getting hired as often as women are. Like women are now outshining men like in every element. And
So you think it's like a cultural?
I think it's just a cultural shift. And like men kind of are like, I think with equality between the genders becoming more even, it does push men out of certain positions that they're used to inhabiting 24/7. So now they're like, what do I do? Like, I can't get a job. But it was like, okay, you need to become a teacher, a nurse. Like, it was saying like men will probably find themselves in those roles more often. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And those roles like there's always like space for more teachers and more nurses and like jobs that are typically thought of as like female jobs.
Well, those jobs are also like take
emotion
care and sensitivity. Like we need men. I think that's actually good. Like examples of men being like emotional and sensitive and like having patience. And because the only options now for like cis males are like males are like
shooting up a movie
theater or becoming like an incel
or
and
raping,
or raping people. So it's like, well, what am I going to do now? I'm going to either become a mass shooter, join a white nationalist organization, or
like
be a teacher.
Go live in a basement and just be gaming all the time.
Yeah. So maybe like, let's step up and
just like become
be
a nurse.
Yeah, or like a teacher.
That's fun.
Or, you know, what's another like feminine job?
I don't know, like a housekeeper.
Yeah, a manny.
Yeah.
Mannies are sought after.
And I think they'd be really good at all those roles. Like they're necessary roles that need to be filled and jobs that are available. And like there's no shade in doing any of that.
Is it gay to take a job that's available?
Kind of. Peak faggotry, getting hired.
Is it gay to not shoot up a movie theater?
Fellas.
Well, is
it gay to let these people live?
Is it gay to let these people live and not empty
is it gay to not
magazine
murder?
of bullets into a Lululemon?
Yeah.
You are.
That's truly, you're taking it.
Yeah.
Raw.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but we have bigger fish to fry than gender equality.
What's a show that's trying to do gender equality? Lara's not having it. I've had it.
I've simply had it.
You should get those girlies on the pod, by the way. They're Oklahoma like you. You know that? They're from Oklahoma.
I didn't know that.
Or they're like natives of Oklahoma.
Okay, work. Well, let's introduce ourselves, I suppose.
I'm Carrie.
I'm Lady.
And you're listening to
Sexy Unique Podcast. They did that.
They are doing it, I think, but Laura's not convinced. I'm not like into it, but it's better than last season. Or maybe not.
I don't think it is. I think that everyone wants it to be. And people are telling themselves that it is. People are trying to be like positive about the state of things because it really hurts to acknowledge that. And just like that is one of the worst shows ever created on television.
We tell the stories. What is that? Like
we tell ourselves stories in order to live. And right now the story Carrie is telling himself and that I let him tell himself last week because he was getting married. I didn't want to rain on his parade. Was that like...
It's good.
It's good. You literally texted me, they're back. And I was like, totally. I can't wait to watch. I just had to be supportive.
Thank you.
But now that your wedding's over and
burst that bubble.
You're a real adult now. Yeah. You're a married man. Mm-hmm. It's the fucking worst show I've ever seen.
It's bad. The writing's terrible.
Nothing makes any sense.
I'm not sure that it can be saved. Saving Sex in the City is actually like a true.
It's my job now.
It's your job.
There's only one person that's saving Sex in the City, and that's me with my podcast that 2,000 people a week listen to called Saving Sex in the City 3. But like,
you're super.
That has more of the spirit of Sex in the City than and just like that has ever had.
You're the super nanny. Go. It's time. There's a crisis. I've got to go solve it.
Do you understand? Also, I realized that I could have produced and directed and written a better season of television by myself than all these people did to make this show.
I'd love to be hired to write for that show. Just saying.
I don't think you would like it. I think in order to write for that show, you have to have Stockholm syndrome and just tell Michael Patrick King that like everything he does.
Ness, take this out. But is Lucas going to be upset if we say this? We should be a little careful.
I mean, yeah, but he also knows.
I know, but you're obviously like good friends with him. I don't want to like.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, Ness, take this out. But I think that you really have to be like Yas Queen to MPK in order to...
And SJP.
...work in that space.
And Cynthia.
I mean, I don't think that based on what I have watched of And Just Like That, these writers are not living in what you or I would recognize as reality.
Well, it doesn't feel, I mean, there were moments like, and I'm not just saying that because I'm in like marital delusion of like happiness, but I do feel like there were moments of the old, like Miranda had some real Miranda moments this episode, I think.
I'm failing to see.
I feel like there were moments, especially at the end when she was like kind of being mouthy and like being like, go fuck yourself to like random California people. Like that felt like Miranda. And I was like, that made me feel, that gave me like a bit of, because that's what I'm waiting for Miranda to be like, thanks a fucking lot. Or like, you know what I mean? Like being that kind of, so I feel like, but it doesn't feel like steeped in like the lore and like the universe of the original show.
I don't know who these women are that
they've
become. It's very strange.
The outfits are a little better.
They're okay.
Charlotte's that one outfit was cool with the bow.
I don't even remember because I literally am just like my jaw's on the floor being like, how on earth did this script go from like being written to produced and like shot and then put on TV for us to watch? Like, I don't understand. The scenes to me feel like they just end very abruptly. There's no transition into anything. The storylines, there's so many characters. You can't follow, like, there's 8 storylines every episode. And they're not, there's too many storylines and they're not serviced enough.
It's the voiceover. It really is like,
and the voiceover is,
well, it's at the end for 2 seconds, but it's just like we do need something to guide, like pull it all together, because it is a little like.
But there's no variation. It's not like.
There's too much
I
going
get
on.
like them wanting to be like, we're separate from Sex in the City, so we're not gonna have a voiceover, which I think is a horrible decision. But like, go with God, I guess, on that one. It's your show, your call. But like, that doesn't mean then you just write like a meandering, senseless piece of work. Like, can't you still introduce like a central theme and have all the characters experience that theme?
It does. There's always like, it's always like every episode has a beginning, middle, and end to each character arc.
But there's no beginning, middle, and end to the episode as a whole.
Yeah,
like,
it's really weird.
In this episode specifically, it's like they gave like LTW and her husband's storyline. I was like, what is this right now? This is like a like very like race conversation 1.0 like lesson that's happening in the middle of this episode that feels kind of on the nose, out of place.
It's true. and it's good to like
it's true, and I think it happens.
They did it. It was like, I mean, I was stressed in that scene, so it was like it was effective, but it was kind of like,
no, that was, to me, I mean, I'm like, I think that there are ways of having that conversation, but a different way into it that feels like more grounded in who these characters are and like what their world is, rather than being like, and now he can't get a cab because he's like a black guy. And it just is like, really, that's the best you could call? I mean, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get what that played in, how that played into the rest of the story of the episode at all. Yeah, and like
it does the whole
and then the lesson of it is like with the mom coming in and being like, never show anger, and then LTW going, hate to say it, but she's right, love you, good night. And it's like, what?
It is all the episodes feel like, and it is, I mean, the original was like episodic.
Oh, do I have a guy? Okay, I have this like, okay, we had a brief intermission,
but we're back.
Now.
That's Miranda doing something unholy.
Culver City with JDS.
Slaying Hollywood at
doing
the comedy store. So we were talking about LTW and her family's plot line. Just felt
they're like PBS. It was like an after school special.
Well, like they're such a cool, like they're both so cool, and like it's like it just came out of nowhere, and it was like,
let's elevate it a little bit.
Yeah, like make it be like a
make it fit in with their lifestyle. I mean,
make it like a multi-thing
Great
plot,
news is
maybe.
America has nothing but racism to serve to people. So like, I just feel like there could be a different way to like put that story across that feels like, oh, it gels with the theme of the episode. But I mean, that's asking a lot because the episode is themeless. And
the only plot I really liked was Seema and the gay bar. That felt like,
that was Sex in the City of yesteryear.
It felt like,
but that gay, feeling man?
Betrayed by your gay hairstylist, like that. I feel like that would have happened to Samantha, like getting shamed by like you're gay and being like, I won't stand for this, and then like having a breakup episode between a woman and her hairstylist, and then coming back and being like,
I was wrong.
Like I could see Samantha being like, some queen down in Union Square did me dirty with this blowout. Like you have to fix it. You know what I mean? Like I
was really unclear though on like them calling blowouts a blow.
Yeah.
I was like, who says that? What? And then when Seema comes in with like her hair
a mess.
Yeah, I was like, that's happened? Not a blowout.
Is
like you could do a blowout and it could look done, but really bad. But that's like no one would ever do that. Even all the bad blowouts I've gotten over the years, it never looked like that.
No, and no one would like do that to this woman. Like she's like so glam, and like you would never be like, this woman who clearly has a shit ton of money, like you're gonna fuck her hair up like that.
And also, when she sits down and she's like, I'm ready for my blow, and he just starts immediately blow drying her already dry hair. I was like, that's also not how blowouts work.
It was strange.
Who, like, I just am like, are these writers what world do they live in?
This is post-COVID.
Like,
anything
they
possible.
live in a world where people like chief up fucking bowls of weed in elevators, like last season. They live in a world where blowouts are called blows,
and you get them well dry,
and you just show up with dry hair, and then someone dries your hair more.
I've never heard of a blowy or blow.
I've never once been like,
is that the new thing in New York?
It a blow.
Is that what the kids are calling it?
Getting blown is all the rage in New York.
Getting blown. I literally I admire blowouts. Like I've obviously never gotten one, but like
you could get
I could get one, but like I don't need it because my hair isn't that thick or that long. But like
you should get a Poly D like blowout for Boston.
But I love a blowout. I love the idea. I love the concept. And it's like, get it right. Don't mar the blowout industry.
I don't understand.
I was with someone in afters at 6 a.m. who left at 9 to go get a blowout.
That's the way it goes.
Commitment. That's a commitment.
Glam. Yeah.
And these women would know. One of these women would be like, hey, I don't know if like they call it a blow. But you know what? And somehow.
But someone in the writer's room is like, it's a blow.
It's a blow.
They call it blow and we're going to do this. And it's all depend. Like, do they call it that just for the pun?
Also, that gay was a gay of yesteryear. Like who? That
no
gay was
gay
like
talks like that.
That gay was like one of the gays on that show Next. Remember that MTV show? He was like, do you have any married men I'd live with? Or like, what?
Like when he sassed everyone at the end of the episode and he's like, I told her not to have kids. I told blah, blah, blah.
That's
and
fun.
That was fun. But I was like, this is, again, gay men being done dirty by the show. They're like, well, they can only marry the other gay man on the show. And if they're a hairdresser, they're like a flaming homosexual.
They're a flaming, home-wrecking, whorish homosexual who...
with like too much Botox.
Who is mean to women, but like the women grovel at their feet. Like...
Come on.
It's so
what in the world?
You can be a cunty gay without being that.
Yeah, or you could just be a woman.
Yeah.
What about... I need to talk about Carrie putting an entire network of individuals out of work.
I will say that in a second, but when it opens on her doing ads, I was like, this is us.
Yeah. Like we have an ad to do after this episode.
Oh, God damn it. The BetterHelp, basically, she was doing, like, I was like, wow, she's there. They got that right.
They did, but then.
But like.
I was also triggered when the producer came in and she goes,
oh, Chloe.
This isn't 2021 anymore. Ad dollars are. I was like, aren't they ever?
Yeah, that nailed that.
That was too sobering. And then they went.
Chloe, I want more of her.
Too bad. She's out of work now.
But I'm like, I want a whole. She's kind of like, has like Lexi Featherston vibes.
Yeah, she was born, she served cunt, and then she died. And that was Sex in the City. That was her tenure on And Just Like That. She's jobless. So Carrie just put like a disabled person out of work.
Carrie was like, this just doesn't feel right. I don't like talking about my bitch, what the fuck? You were on a
sex columnist.
You were on New York City buses in the late 90s in like a slip talking about fucking.
Yeah.
And getting like pissed on. Like, are you kidding me? Where is this? Who is this woman?
She's just wet 24/7.
I mean, I just know, but it's like, it's so strange to me that Carrie would be prude about this.
It makes no sense.
It's like, it doesn't feel right. It feels like SJP was like, I, as a woman in my mid 50s with 3 children, like, I don't want to talk about dry pussy. And they were like, all right. Right?
Yeah. Where's the sex? Where's the sex?
I mean, Miranda was...
She was trying.
fucking Che, so that was something. True. I mean, that was... Che...
Look, Che came off looking the best out of everyone in this episode.
So far, Che is the only normal person in this whole series.
Which means that it's truly 911 because when you're like, God, I could use a little more Che. I'm liking some Che in this season. You're then in the crisis zone.
Did you see Candace?
Oh, I saw
the tweet.
I'm like, is she trolling or?
Yeah,
she is.
Turns out I was craving me some Che.
She posted on Instagram too.
Yeah,
and then she goes, I love Che Diaz and I'll die on this hill. Greatest character on TV. What do you guys think? And then I truly just went through the comments for as long as I possibly could till the end, just to see what the general read was and make sure that I'm not fucking crazy.
Or like,
because part of me watches this and I'm like, are people watching this and being like feeling fulfilled and happy and like they got what they came here for? Like, I don't think that that's what's happening.
We all want to be so bad. Like, I still remember the chills I got when I saw the first teaser.
Tony just like softly farted.
But
the first teaser and I heard little.
I just can't. Why can't they just make it like the original? I'm sorry.
what they
You
could
can
have
update it. You can update it. You can keep it like
they could have had character like just made the whole world of like other characters that would come in and out of episodes more colorful, and there's ways to like have more diverse storylines and like be more reflective of like what the culture is,
and not like the dated bad jokes,
and not be like just pandering to like I don't know who they think this show is for.
I don't even think like even like the most like deeply like resistance liberals who are like white.
I don't even think they'd like it.
They're not even like they
stopped watching a long time ago. You're not getting them back.
We are here.
We're betraying the girls and the gays right now.
We are still with you. Like I'm still like I laughed at one point. I laughed out loud.
When
the guy on the beach said like something to Miranda and she went like, "Thanks a fucking lot," or like, "Thank you for telling me." Like like that made me lol.
Yeah. Old Chablis. Did you like Chablis in her AA meeting?
Okay, the AA meeting. Can we talk about this?
What atrium?
Where the fuck was this? There was an arboreum, or is that what they call it? Like a little
arboreum.
There was a greenhouse. It was
like in the mall.
I literally, someone was like, "No, I've seen it." Someone, I don't know if they were kidding or not, but someone quote tweeted me and said, because I posted, "This is what they think AA in LA looks like," and they were like, "I've actually seen one." I was like, "Where? Tell me where." No place in LA
they answer?
looks like this. No.
Yeah, because that is a fake
or
place.
Beverly Hills. But even in Beverly Hills, it doesn't look like that. Like if you go to like a church, there's a church meeting that's like gorgeous, but it's at a church. I've never seen anything like this. She stands up in like...
They were in like just one eye.
They're in like the Facebook campus. They're literally at like Facebook HQ in
back
Redwood
in the
City.
Metaverse at the AA meeting.
They stand up there in like a glass cube, like tell me where and I'll go there. It looks like they're at Scientology.
I was really shaken by that.
Hi, I'm Miranda. I'm an alcoholic. Also, like, forgot she was an alcoholic.
I know, and I was like, oh, this is what you're doing out? Like,
what is she doing?
Did she think... I thought that she was just like, I have a drinking problem. I didn't know that she now identified as an alcoholic.
Well, I get that. It's like she's trying to find some sober community, and she's like, well, I guess I'm an alcoholic. But like, so that didn't bump with me that much. But what bumps me is that like Che's like, they're like, hey babe, gotta go down to the stew, like meeting the writer for a meeting about this up. And Miranda's like, well, what am I going to do? I'm like, bitch, you're a fucking lawyer.
Yeah, what the fuck is your deal?
You went to Harvard. You're a hardcore like litigator. You're a crazy talented lawyer.
You're a career woman.
This is also like not a real person. But like, I'm like, go become an entertainment lawyer. Set up shop. Open your own firm. You could do that. You're in LA. Like you'll make bank in LA. You're a queer, high-powered Harvard and Yale Penn-educated woman who's dating a famous non-binary person. Like, you would be the toast of the town. And Miranda's just like, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm sorry. This is not Miranda.
That's not Miranda.
Miranda would be like, it makes me actually, I'm going to start crying.
No, it's it's really upsetting.
I just want Miranda to be Miranda. Miranda was literally like the best part of that show for me, and like she was so fucking funny, and like literally like every day of my life I still have Miranda moments. I can't. No
one is acting like themselves. No one is themselves anymore, and I'm like,
not even Charlotte.
She, I guess, is kind of the most like her character, but in this really different like. Everyone's like mentally ill. Charlotte may be the most mentally ill of all of them. But like even Carrie doesn't act like Carrie anymore.
Charlotte in the show was fucking cool.
She was cool. She was like also kind of the biggest whore of all of them. Like the most adventurous sexually.
She was. She did drag.
And I know I rewatched because after I watched this episode, I turned it on and then I got like 10 minutes in and I was like, I'm turning this off. And then just like fugued for a little bit. Then I think I came home from your wedding and then I was like, well, I'll just watch it so I can know what we're potting about on Monday. And then watched it. And then I was in such a sour place that I went back and just started watching old Sex and the City episodes because I was like, I need a palate cleanser. I need to remember. It's like if your grandmother gets dementia and goes from being like a lovely person to like someone who's smearing their shit on the wall and like saying like calling you names.
Like The Visit.
Yeah, it goes full Visit, and then you just want to like remember them as
when
they were
hilarious and like
and when you like loved them, like the women you knew and loved and could trust and count on to like deliver the goods time after time, and even when they missed the mark, still it was like, okay, something's interesting about that.
I have more fulfillment from the clip that's now resurfaced that keeps going viral of it was one of the HBO promos for Sex and the City, and it's like
love to love you, babe.
Or how do you like it?
Oh yeah, that one.
And it's like the ray of light, like Times Square and Charlotte.
So good.
And they're all serving so much cunt, and they're lit. Oh my god, they were
sexy.
They were sexy. Charlotte was so like vampy, and like I'm not saying like some of the dated stuff is so cringe, and it's like, yeah, that needs to be updated. Obviously, like bring the world today. It's 20 years later, like update that, but you can still have the same feeling.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's very strange to me. I don't know what's going on. And I am someone that like, as a writer, it's hard for, like, I never want to like, I see people tearing shows apart, and I'm like, one, why are you doing this? Because whoever's doing that show could be someone that could hire you one day, and they'll go through your tweets, and you know what I mean? Two, like, play the game a little. Like but two,
I don't put it in writing. I just like to say it on a
no, but you're very fair about like, even, you know, like The Idol and like shows that are like have a lot, like, you're fair. People are so vicious about people's writing, and it's like, writing is such a hard thing. TV writing is a fucking hard job. It takes so much to get from pen to paper to something being made, and like, I have so much respect for I'm not saying this to be like virtue signaling, but like, I truly like, I hate talking bad about people's writing, because it's like, I know what that's like, and like, they're putting their shit out there. This is like a stressful job, I'm sure, but it's like, my God.
It is a true my good God.
My good
and
God.
I really, the reason I care so much, and like if I talk about something or like talk shit about something on this podcast, it's because I want it to be great, that I know that it can be great and it's failing, and that's where I'm coming from. No.
Okay.
But we could put it behind the paywall.
Let's just do that.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll figure it out. But like,
you're tough
like
love.
When I shit on Vanderpump Rules during the bad seasons, I was like, it's because I know how great it could be. Like,
it's capable of greatness.
I know. And this is truly missing the mark. And like, what's shaking me to my core even more is that Elizabeth told me she's listening to like the writers podcast, like the Sex and the City podcast, where the writers like weigh in on why the fuck they made the decisions they made.
Yeah.
And they all think that they're making like some of the most groundbreaking, meaningful television of all time. They think that they are truly like killing it.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
And that's what scares me.
And just like that.
But like, someone lovingly needs to pull Michael Patrick King aside and be like, bitch, this is for your own good. This show is trash.
It's not going to be Sarah Jessica Parker.
Well, no. She's doing her own thing.
It's not going to be Cynthia.
Certainly not.
Kristen's like just happy to be back.
I honestly nominate like
LTW,
a close gay friend of his, or like a woman that he respects.
Kim.
No, she's like laughing all the way to the bank. But I don't understand how like a man could write the comeback,
which is the greatest show of all time.
That was like so
biting.
But I guess at the time everyone was like, this show sucks. But like, not me and not everyone that was obsessed with it. But like, to go, like, how is one person capable of both things? That's what freaks me out.
You know, I think the ingredient, the Darren Star ingredient is missing. a little bit, because their union, I think, was a good like meshing of gay power.
But like, I think they only overlapped for a very short period of time, and then MPK took it over, like season 3, I want to say. I wonder if they can't do the voiceover or the same. Like, I wonder if they can't call it Sex in the City or do the voiceover or have the same structure legally, because it was Darren Star who created the show, and that was like his
baby
structure of the episodes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like he signed off on the original structure and like that formula.
But that was what the best eras of Sex in the City adhered to that structure.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like we're missing that. Like, there was a set. Ooh, baby. There was a set like skeleton, and even the first like, and they followed it every time they filled it in, and it was a perfect formula.
And now I'm like, I find myself watching episodes and I'm like, when is this shit going to be over? Like, I'm checking my phone or like, I'm like, God damn, like 10 more minutes of this.
They're too long.
They
should be a half hour.
Nothing ties them together. I'm going to have to give a cease and desist to Ms. Nia Wallace, because that character
sad because
has gone off the rails in such a way where I'm like,
they're doing her fucking dirty.
She was
cool
really
as fuck
dirty
last season, and they've got her basically like Rapunzel in her apartment in like Fort Greene.
She's like Catherine Deneuve, like,
yeah, and she's
honey,
like,
go outside,
and she has like no friends, and I'm like, you are a cool ass Columbia professor, like you're a brilliant attorney, like why are you?
Yeah, what? You have too much free time and you're getting drunk and you're ripping things off the walls? Like, no.
Go out and slay. Like, what? I'm sorry.
They wrote her like a crazy person.
I know. And it's like, it's making me mad because last season, I actually was like, she was sort of one of the few bright spots of last season where it was like, I feel like she was so real and like felt more in line with the original show. And now they've grounded. And now they're just like, Miranda's basically like coming off as chill compared to her. And I'm like, no. That's not who this woman was. And they've made her at flowers in the attic.
I'm freaked.
Freaks me out. Like, remember, was the last season one where she like accidentally hits that like gay couple with the baby? And like the member in traffic? That was fucking funny. That was like a very Miranda, and like I wanted more of that. And now she's.
These are truly like hysterical women.
LTW is.
The only person serving true cunt is LTW. And for some reason, they decided to not let her win in episode 2.
Why not let her win? Just let her give that. LTW needs to be winning just every time. And we need to just be like, someone needs to be winning and slaying.
They should have just like replaced like Samantha with LTW or Seema, and then they could have had these other characters come in for like 1 or 2 episode arcs to like kind of marinate on whatever theme of the episode was going to be. O'Neill. Yeah, and like have like sexy men that we recognize be like cameos as people they're fucking. I don't understand. Like, I get that your priorities change as you get older, but I'm also like, these are fictional characters and they were always like fucking and sucking and talking about like relationship issues. So where the fuck are those? I didn't sign up to see like women hand wringing about reading a vaginal dryness ad on their podcast.
And I didn't sign up for Miranda being like not knowing what to do with herself.
Miranda being like
leaving her
afloat.
Adrift. Just like what? And also Che Diaz's house.
The soundstage.
The nicest house in California.
I know.
Che Diaz's
$5 million house.
They're in like a Deadline article being like, rising comedian phenomenon. Che Diaz purchases most expensive home in Los Angeles, and it's Aaron Spelling's like $500 million house.
Che Diaz's house is legit like
Palatial.
$20,000 a month to rent. Is Che getting paid like $5 million for this pilot?
Also, they're doing a pilot, but they're doing multiple episodes.
Also, like, what year is it? I thought it was still 2021.
I don't know. I mean,
is it supposed to be like early 2022?
Maybe. Also, Lily's the whole like Grimes. I mean, I was like,
Lily could go harder. My one note to Lily is like, I see what you're trying to do, but you need to watch The Idol and give me what like Lily, the piano player on The Idol, is doing.
I feel like Lily could have been like a cool like downtown girly who's like party girl who's also really smart and like goes to.
Yeah, like wouldn't she be edgier? Everyone should be edgier. Where's the grit?
Also, Rock sucks.
Oh, I kind of like Rock.
Oh, you do?
You know what? Rock, I think, is very cute, and I really like Rock's haircut. It kind of is giving the Katie Maloney haircut, and I was just like, God, this is such a great haircut.
They're kind of chic.
I kind of think Rock is chic.
Okay.
But I wish that Rock would call everyone like losers and like tell them off.
She kind of does, but then like snaps back into like baby girl.
Yeah.
But
the emancipation of Rock is essential.
Rock and Lily are serving more cunt than their parents and all the adults.
Charlotte has regressed.
It makes me sad because Charlotte was such a cool I love Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte was like that whole episode with the guys like calling her a slut. Like we need episodes like that. Like when he comes, he can't stop.
Oh, I rewatched that one.
And her
fucking bitch.
And her
fucking whore. She goes, just say it. Just say it. She goes,
like that's hysterical.
That's so funny.
And so real and like embarrassing. And the one where she like meets her old sorority sisters and she's like, don't you just want to get raw dick?
God, I love that. Just fucked. Just really fucked, you know? It was Charlotte. When did you become such a
what, Susan?
A what?
A whore?
And Samantha, that crazed Southern woman who like sucks a dick under the
It was too much for Samantha. Also, when Kat Dennings plays that girl who's like
the 13-year-old
who's like giving blowjobs, and Samantha's like, I had a childhood at least.
Yeah. What about? Okay, we need to talk about like
Charlotte gets crabs.
I know,
from pretending to be.
They like, all used to be like.
All
embarrassing things happen. Yeah. And now
no.
Carrie's like, I need to go take 5 days to rewrite this podcast ad.
And
I'm like, bitch, that's not how it works. Just say it and take the money. What the fuck?
And then get a disabled queen.
Get your disabled boss like fucking fired, off health insurance, truly out of a job.
Go fuck yourself.
Carrie's in like.
And Franklin's like chill with it.
He's like, okay, well.
He's like, I still want to date you. And Carrie's like, not only does she get this man fired, then she goes, I don't want to date you. And then goes, see ya. And then Sesh, just like
just like that, my week cleared up.
Bitch.
You lost, like.
Mean.
You're a bitch for that. That'd be like me being like, sorry, everyone, I'm not going to podcast anymore. I simply can't go down to the living room.
Also, I'm craving me some shit. No, I'm craving me Carrie being like narcissistic again. I want her to talk about herself more. I'm missing that Carrie.
I don't even know what's going on in that head of hers. That's the problem is I have no idea what Carrie Bradshaw's thinking at any given time.
And what was she writing?
She sat down and wrote like 4 paragraphs. What did she wrote a treatise on? She was like, I finally nailed it. The monologue I'm comfortable with saying about vaginal. I'm like, that is not how fucking podcast ads work.
She wrote a fucking Ted Kaczynski style manifesto about vaginal dryness and then looked over at Franklin while he slept.
It took her days to rewrite a 1 minute ad to a 30-second ad spot.
She gave Franklin sleeping pills and he slept for 5 days while she wrote a treatise.
She said, deleted everything and started over multiple times. And then said finally, she was like, "You awake? Let's go in. I'm ready to read."
And then he was fired.
And then everyone, by that time, Q2 was over and everyone had lost their job. How much money did you think she was about to make like 200 grand for this podcast ad for the network? They suddenly realized because Carrie didn't do the ad on the day she needed to, that they couldn't make anyone's salaries. Payroll canceled. Rent, can't pay it.
Chloe was incredible. Chloe goes, "Put it in your own diva words." And I was like, yes. I was like, Chloe stole the whole episode.
Chloe needs to come out next episode.
She's an incredible actress.
And write, like, she needs to write like a tell-all of like the truth about Carrie Bradshaw and how in this economy on the fringes of a recession, Carrie Bradshaw's just put like 30 people out of work.
Chloe, let me just check this. I believe Chloe was in the Oklahoma revival.
Yeah, I saw her in it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She played some Annie something. What's the name of it?
Annie Oakley?
No, not Annie Oakley. I can't remember what that character's name is. She was so good.
Yeah, she's a star.
Revival was
Ali Stroker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That revival was next fucking level.
I know. I wish I'd seen it.
It was unreal.
I'm mad I missed it.
The guy that played like the main character, one of the hottest men I've ever seen in my life.
And she's like the lead, right?
She's like the female. No, she's not the female lead. She's like a friend of kind of character, but she has like a really good song. She had the song that's like, "I'm just a girl who can't say no."
Oh, yeah.
And she's just like a horny slut.
Well, let Chloe, I'll watch a Sex and the City. She
should take over Sex in the City and then do the voiceover. She could wheel down the street and then a bus could splash her and she could be like, "What?" And then I would fully buy it. If you recast every single role and just adhered to someone has a voiceover, they explore an issue around sex, and then it's at the end, it's wrapped up in a bow, I would be 1000% on board.
You know, they now I'm thinking almost like they should have just done an entirely new Sex and the City reboot with like a whole young cast of like.
Could we just make a reboot called like Urban Sex?
Like Stars.
Urban Sex Adventures.
Stars.
Yeah, we need to do the Russian version, the Stars copy version, and just have it be like.
I mean, it's
cosmopolitan romance.
I would love it. Like have
romance in
Town Square, but romance on Main Street. But it is. Like,
I would watch romance on Main Street.
But you could have like you could have like a queer like non-binary character and like but just make them funny, make them cool,
interesting and fun,
because
and cool.
Most queer people are, and it's like it makes me. I'm gobsmacked. I don't even know like what to say.
I like that I finally radicalized you over to the true side.
Well, I'm trying, so I just want it to be.
I know
so
you
good.
want.
I did like when Anthony called Lily Eilish.
Like I want him to be a bitch to people.
I'd follow him. Who's the guy? What was that whole plot? Is this guy hot to be in my?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Give us some. Let me see him. Fuck him. I want to see him have.
Also, why is he always around? Doesn't he have a life?
No.
They literally are like this sad gay. Like he now has no friends and is just going to spend all his time hanging around like families.
Well, yeah, because Stanford went crazy and moved to Tokyo to like Svengali, a pop star.
I don't think that like.
Anthony
would. I don't think he would just succumb to like being
a gay,
like the old family
accessory.
Gay. Yeah.
No, he would be like out in like Fire Island with like his old gays that survived the 80s.
Yeah, like where are all his friends?
I don't know.
Like you could have given him a storyline away from everyone else.
Mario Cantone
also, I
is
forgot
like
about that bread thing. That's really.
He's an incredible comedian and like truly talented and so fucking funny, and it's like he's a daddy. I want to see him fuck raw.
I liked like the Gen Z girl interacting with like Carrie and Charlotte going, I don't know.
Yeah, but then it felt a little like...
It was like, okay, you did that joke 3 times. Like, let's write something else.
Charlotte was giving in that moment. Like, I liked this look.
It's very Pilgrim.
Like, this face.
I wanted to see Carrie having like a fun shopping moment.
Where is that?
I was like, the Carrie I know would be like supportive, and then suddenly you'd turn around and she'd have like an armful of like all these different clothes that she's buying, or like plop them down on the counter, and or like be like trying on clothes in the fitting room.
And Charlotte would be like, Carrie, be on my side. And she'd go, can't you just apologize to them and accept their apology and move on? Because these shoes are so good. You know what I mean? Like she would be doing that.
Or like they get kicked out of the store and Carrie can't buy the Sonia Raquel shoes.
And she'd be mad.
Like, can we have a little bit of anything? I'm begging for scraps now.
Can we have a little bit of that? I want the opening credits of Bewitched.
I'm still dying over... I'm still, like, all week long, I've just been thinking about, hello? Okay, goodbye. The Samantha phone call. The Samantha phone call that's coming.
Hello? Yes, Carrie, you're a great person. I forgive you. Cheerio.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Wait. Hello? Hello, this is Samantha speaking. It goes...
She just goes, it goes, who is this? Who is this?
And then,
I'm hanging up. Goodbye. And then that's...
You hear... Doot, 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 doot. She picks up and she goes, hello? This is Samantha speaking in Liverpool. And then she goes, yes? Oh, Carrie. Oh, Carrie, that's quite all right, Carrie. Now you have yourself a good day. Goodbye. $1 million. Hello? Yeah.
Hello? Goodbye. I pray with the writing we've been served, it's not off the mark thinking that that's what it's going to be.
Hello? No, she thinks maybe Carrie calls her and Carrie freezes. I don't know what to say. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Is this Carrie?
Is this Carrie on the other line? Well, I'll have you know, I don't accept prank calls, especially from a little trollop like you. You know, or like...
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello?
Hello?
Well, goodbye.
And it's like, she goes, hello. And then she goes, it's like I always say.
Goodbye.
Wow. Give me some of that, Carrie. Goodbye. Hello? Wow. I got to go out and get some cock.
Can I call you back?
Carrie.
Goodbye.
Can I call you back really quick, Carrie? I promise I'll call you back. And then she never calls back. And that was the last time I spoke to Samantha. Hello?
Hello? Goodbye.
Well, goodbye. Hello?
Wait, also something that killed me.
Or if it's just, hello?
Under Candace Bushnell's Instagram post about Che Diaz, when I was like scouring the comments of his like, where are my justice seekers at? And someone goes, I don't want to see Carrie and these women in New York. I want to see, give us what we really want, Samantha in London. And I was like, are they sup-pilled? Like, because I feel like we said it first. Samantha and swing in London. I was like, what if this Samantha is the community?
What if she falls down? What if she is in, she's just like drunk one night coming home from a bar in old Soho, and she falls down like a brick hole and a deep well, and she comes out and it's 1969 and she's in swinging London.
She's time traveled.
She's partying with Roman Polanski and Sharon Tate.
What if Samantha is like actually in like hospital and she's on her deathbed and she calls Carrie to make amends and they kill her off in the final episode?
Well, also like,
what if she goes, Carrie, me, and you hear like boop, 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 and
Carrie, it's come back, and she goes, the cancer, and she goes, no. Take
she
that
goes,
out.
just kidding. Yes.
No, let's take that
It's
out.
back and it's back and it's taken me. This is my final day on this earth. I'm having them pull the plug. You know, I have to go out in style on my own terms.
She goes, you know, me and plugs. And she goes, Carrie, I just wanted to say that I'm bearing the hatchet.
She goes, I just wanted to say, you're a cunt and you always have been. Goodbye. And then they pull the plug and they kill Samantha off.
And then you hear,
MPK would do that. That would actually be incredible.
and then in the background, you hear Carrie's going, hello?
Hello?
Samantha, and in the background, you hear, but what if it's Samantha time traveling?
I would take literally anything at this point. What was another thing that happened this episode?
Che has a husband, Oliver Hudson.
Oh yeah, he was hot. I was happy to see him.
When he showed up, I went, because then I was like, oh, they're gonna fuck.
I know. I was like,
They're gonna have like a
Miranda will
throuple.
realize that she is in fact straight, which she always was. Remember, she literally kissed a woman and then was like, "Yeah, I'm fucking straight."
Didn't she? Yeah, didn't she have like a whole like flirtation?
She had the opportunity to be a lesbian.
Yeah.
Like, she joined the work softball team, and then she was like trying to date that woman. And she was like, "I just can't do it. I'm like straight."
Yeah.
An old shady ass saunters up.
Well, Oliver Hudson came in, and I was like, he looked really good. Lyle, his name, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm married. I'm a mixtress at Soho Nubo, or the Soho House Malibu.
Is that the only time we're ever gonna see old Lyle Crocodile in his purple truck?
And Miranda, oh yeah, the purple truck. I was like, oh god, it's gonna be some like LGBT nightmare that it's gonna like enrage conservatives. And then it was just Lyle, and he's like, I'm a mixologist at Soho Malibu, and then Miranda goes, oh, Soho Malibu.
When Miranda
have you been there? Have you left Culver City? Is this the first time you ever left?
When Miranda was like crazy woman on the beach, I was like, someone needs to put Nana back in the nursing home. She was like running. She was like, does anyone have a phone? And being like, you have a phone? And then she was like walking up like a small flight of steps and being like, whoo.
I know.
I was like,
I thought she was
Nana needs to go take her afternoon nap.
I was like, I had a second where I was like, is she gonna have a threesome with these surfers? They're gonna offer her weed and she's gonna relapse and have like, I don't know. Please.
I'll just anything.
She's gonna have something with Lyle.
That'd be giving them too much credit.
Che, yeah.
I'm really.
And then the Tony Danza thing. What?
Also, like, okay.
By the way, they're not even giving. Che no longer has any jokes. It's just, thank you, everyone. That was my set.
They're like, cut the jokes. Che's now living in a serious drama.
She goes, no, but.
Che goes, he goes, I can't play Mexican. Like, I'm getting too much pushback. He goes, I'm going to be Italian, and then you're going to be like Italian Mexican, which, I mean, I get there's a big cultural differences between Italian and Irish, but they're both white. So it's not that big of a deal.
But also Che going, I just love it. Their stand-up acts now are just them going, that's my time, everyone. Thank you.
But also, what was that weird, like, the weird Miranda's in the way scene?
I don't believe that Miranda would be like not knowing where to stand at a restaurant. She came to LA before and she like...
Does she have dementia?
She like... Remember she was so funny about LA and like lolling about how ridiculous... Like she knows what to do. She can... It's like, has this woman ever left her apartment?
No, she's gone Nana mode.
It makes me really upset.
I really need...
Carrie's not even a character anymore.
When Carrie and Seema are sitting together at the bar, I was like... Carrie doesn't even have any of her Carrie Bradshaw mannerisms.
No puns.
There's no puns. There's no like little like quirky little Carrie things. There's no semblance of this woman.
I wonder if she like was like, I want to tone down the like. I mean, she already did that. She did a show called Divorce, which was a good show. And like she played like a more toned down, basically Carrie Bradshaw. Like it was like Sex and the City about a divorced middle-aged person living in Westchester.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, I'm just saying like that. You already did that. Go back to being. You're a comedic queen. Be funny. Do it. Where are the
Zero
jokes?
comedy.
Where are the jokes?
Also, why does everyone have a full-size bed? Carrie's bed is smaller than it was in the original series.
Everyone has a trundle bed.
Why is this?
They downsized during the pandemic, I guess.
But what? But like everyone's bed. Do Charlotte and Harry, are they supposed to be living in the same apartment that they were living in?
Yeah.
Why are they sleeping in a different room? They're no longer sleeping in the master bedroom of their apartment.
They gave it to Rock.
But like
Rock and Lily sleep in the same room.
I know, but I feel like, is there just a poltergeist in the master bedroom and they moved into the guest room? They also sleep in a full-size bed.
It's very strange. It's probably a budget thing.
I'm really shaken by the bed scenario. Che and Miranda, full-size bed.
Oh, that bedroom.
Che's like cottage core.
I'm just like, who? This house. The pilot.
I'm literally
ABC,
just,
a pilot.
What
for ABC.
is going on is all that goes through my head, and I need to know that I'm not alone because I feel like really actually scared now. I'm scared.
Weigh in, readers.
Please weigh in
Let
and
us
like
know if we're on the wrong side of history.
We must seek justice. Like this is about to like start a civil war.
Yeah.
I'm about to coup. I'm going to insurrect.
Do it.
I'm going to insurrect Sunset Gower Studios.
You're not going to go picket for the WGA strike. You're going to go insurrect for making And Just Like That.
And and Just Like That, insurrection is a picket.
It is.
In a sense.
It is.
I'm going to insurrect the HBO office at Max.
Maybe that'll stop the strike.
They need something radical to happen, and I'm ready to go full, like, I'm ready to burn it all down in the name of SATC.
Well, in the meantime, let me know how it goes.
Will you join?
Sure.
Will you join forces?
Meet us on the battlefield.
Listeners, we must unite.
David Zaslav must be reckoned with.
Mm-hmm. Suck a dick.
Suck a dick.
Who's to blame? Sex and the City edition. May God have mercy on all our souls. We'll see you next time.
You know who you can get mercy, though? There's still tickets to our show. We're leaving tomorrow at this time. It'll be today when you hear it.
If you care about justice,
you'll go to our show in Cambridge, Massachusetts at the Sinclair at 8 p.m. on June 28th, Wednesday.
There's still VIP tickets on sale, too, where you can show up at 6 p.m. and do a whole meet and greet with us to get a picture and gab.
And Bowery Ballroom, Friday, June 30th in New York City. This coming Friday, tickets are about to sell out. We have like a few left. There's probably like 30 left or something.
Doubtful even if it's that.
If that. So get on them now. It's going to be a raucous time. Friday night in the city before 4th of July.
Oh my God. It's going to be one for the ages.
Before you skedaddle.
You will not want to miss it.
Yeah, before you skedaddle to the Hamptons or Fire Island or P-Town.
Come on down.
Come on down to the Bowery.
And until then, love and light.